I love everything about these rumors. Potentially. Mostly everything. Potentially. Pokemon Switch rumors are taking over the internet once again, so I figured it was a good time to once again talk about Pokemon for Nintendo Switch. Plus, I mean, it's been a while since I talked about Pokemon. I think I earned it. Logan got to talk about Star Fox. No, you have a problem. You can't let your childhood die, and you've been scouring the internet for Pokemon Switch rumors ever since Nintendo NX was revealed to be a thing. Got it? Okay, good. Pokemon rumors have been all over the place. At one point, we were told it was a Gen 8 game. Now, the current rumor, with the most backing out of any rumor this far, is that it's for sure a Gen 1 remake. The rumor has been reported on so far by the likes of Emily Rogers, Eurogamer, and most interestingly of them all, in my opinion, Cerebi. Specifically, it's a Pokemon Yellow remake with an accompanying Eevee version. So a Pokemon Brown version? Kinda gross, and you're stupid if you want it. This is a joke. I am being facetious. Do not get your panties all in a bunch, you big dumb idiot. In all seriousness, the names for these games seem to be Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee edition. Here's the leaked logo. In a lot of ways, as a Pokemon Yellow fan, this makes a lot of sense. Also, Nintendo registered the domains for both of these names, so there's that. First of all, the obvious Pokemon Go reference is certain to perk up a fair amount of ears and reignite some interest in lapsed Pokemon fans that recaught the Pokemon bug when that app came out. As far as the game's version mascots, Pikachu is an obvious choice, and Eevee was the first Pokemon for your rival in Pokemon Yellow. Even now, Eevee is a pretty popular Pokemon, having been one of the few Pokemon to receive its own 3DS, may it rest in peace. And it got its own special Z move in Pokemon Sun and Moon. Hell, Eevee even has its own official Twitter account. The story this time around ties to Pokemon Red and Blue. We'll see the return of the feature that allows Pokemon to follow our trainers in the overworld. Pokeride from Gen 7 will continue to replace HMs. There will be an online hub for players, and the game will have what seems to be heavy integration with Pokemon Go, including rewards for linking the new games to the app and a new accessory that will connect the two in some way. Lastly, the rumors say we'll see the reveal soon. Emily Rogers specifically says it'll be as soon as the end of the month. I want to dive deeper into my take on some of these rumors. Let me know your take in the comments as we go forward. Let's begin with a possible purpose for Pikachu and Eevee. The rumored mascots bring up an interesting dichotomy in my mind. Pikachu is famous for not wanting to evolve and wanting to succeed solely based on its current capabilities. Eevee, on the other hand, has the most evolutions or evolutions of any other Pokemon in the game. This could mean nothing, as we'll see later. It's possible that your Eevee in this game could potentially adopt a similar philosophy to Pikachu, but I think it would be cool if it didn't. That would maintain the hard mode, easy mode dynamic that comes with choosing starters in past Pokemon games. Alternatively, an Eevee that is open to evolving potentially opens the door for new evolutions. Fighting, Dragon, Ghost. It'll give Gary another candidate for his dead Pokemon in Lavender Town. I'm sorry, that was too dark. Moving on, this to me seems like no-brainer stuff. I've talked ad nauseum about how I thought and think that these are the next best steps for Pokemon Company to take the franchise, and I'm not the only one. Really, anyone not clinging to what has become the status quo for the Pokemon franchise after over 22 years of stagnation can see what a game changer Pokemon Go was, and how stupid it would be for everyone involved to not capitalize on that with the next Pokemon release. It was the biggest thing that happened to Pokemon since the franchise's peak in the late 90s to early 2000s. Using that success as a springboard for a debut on Nintendo's newest platform is the logical thing to do. A platform that has proven in some cases to be a place for reinvigorating long-running series, as well as admittedly sticking to the status quo with others. If these rumors turn out to be indeed leaks, Pokemon seems to be leaning in the direction of the former. Of course, even to me, some of the wording for this rumor is worrying if we take it at face value. Namely, the idea that catching Pokemon is like catching Pokemon in Pokemon Go. This, to me, could mean a few different things. The first of which being a complete complete unwelcome change from my perspective, and I'm positive many others. A system that would completely strip the battling system away from catching wild Pokemon in favor of a system that is wholly reminiscent of Pokemon Go. I highly doubt this is what they mean. A big part of Pokemon is battling. I don't think they're above changing the way we catch Pokemon, but I don't think they'd change it that much. Pokemon Switch isn't going to be a mobile game with a capital M, so there's no sense in using the mechanics of one. Casuals don't even like this system per se. They just put up with it. If Game Freak opts to change this system, it will be in favor of fun over accessibility, which I think segues nicely into the next option. Another thing it could mean is leaving the catching experience as mainline fans know it mostly unchanged, with the main change being that after battling and weakening a Pokemon, you are then required to throw and hit the Pokemon with a Pokeball with the Switch's touchscreen or motion controls, with an improving catch rate depending on where you hit them. It could also do away with random encounters, a polarizing choice, but a choice that I would be in favor of. Random encounters, in my opinion, add nothing but tedium to the games. It's not challenging not knowing when you're going to run into a Pokemon. It's not challenging not knowing what that Pokemon is. It's just grindy and annoying. Some may, who am I kidding? Some will disagree, but in my opinion, random encounters going away would be a very welcome change. As well as making a lot of sense if Pokemon following you returns to the series. It would make Pokemon out in the world less of this weird anomaly that's unique to you and a select few NPCs, and more of a trademark of a newly lived in iteration of a Pokemon world. And in an image that I'm sure many of you have seen, we even see an indicator that this Eevee rumor has some legitimacy by way of the trainer not only having Eevee, but it also is hanging out on his head. This would also retroactively strengthen the validity of that specific leak. In regards to the story, this can make a lot of sense too if we think about the recent Pokemon games along with some other Pokemon Switch rumors that we received leading up to this one. Even without considering the Go connection, Pokemon Sun and Moon had a lot of Kanto DNA, even to the point of a major character in those games, Lily, moving to Kanto to pursue her journey as a Pokemon trainer. I'm sure we'll see her again in this game, potentially as the new champion of the Indigo Plateau's Elite Four, or at the very least, a new gym leader. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up mirroring her journey going from Kanto to Alola. Also, if Pokeride indeed returns in some way, it'd be an easy reference point for Alola when learning about the ability while in Kanto. This is a technique discovered in the Alola region, yada yada yada. Another thing to consider is if this game ends up being like that earlier rumor in regards to its art style, I'd imagine it would be pretty easy to add the entirety of the Alola region to this game, which would give this game another nod to the best Pokemon game. If you are somehow unaware, Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver are the best Pokemon games. If you disagree, you are wrong and you can fight me respectfully in the comments. Adding a second region to explore and ultimately conquer has already proven to be a solid tactic. It adds length to the game in a way that's not just grinding, and it also introduces a chance to experience past regions that you might not have had a chance to in the past, as well as giving the people that have experienced those regions new things to explore and experience in those regions. This also is a strong case for Kanto. Incidentally, I for one wouldn't mind seeing a newly realized Kanto with modern art, as well as potential new developments in that part of the world. Last time we revisited, there was a lot of shifts in power dynamics amongst trainers. The villains were even in a new place in life. Giovanni had existential dread, and for a while we were sort of led to believe he killed himself. We've since learned that he was alive and started a new crime syndicate made up of members from other past crime syndicates called Team Rainbow Rocket. Could we see their return, or will we get a completely new team? Back on the subject of Alola, will we see any influence from Kanto by way of a gym system of some sort? Maybe even something reminiscent of the Orange Islands in the anime, wherein rather than strictly having us face gym leaders in battles, there's also obstacle courses, races, and other tests of speed speed, accuracy, and strength. This way, Alola can keep a dash of tradition in both senses of the word. The traditions of the franchise by way of a badge system, and the traditions of the region by keeping the challenges diverse. The best part of this rumor, in my opinion, is the release dates. I've long thought that Pokemon's Switch game was a lock for holiday 2018. Sure, there have been a few major spring releases for Pokemon in the past, but when it comes down to it, Pokemon is a holiday franchise. It could move units whenever, but it sure wouldn't hurt to have Black Friday in its corner when it releases on Nintendo Switch. Beyond that, I just want to play the game, both in my personal life and with all of you guys. I will 1v1 you all. Don't test me. Friend code is down in the description. There's so much more that I can cover, but if I'm being honest, there's a ton of time for that. Let me know in the comments what you want me to dive into deeper in the next Pokemon video. Also, in this week's episode of our weekly podcast, directly to you. But those are my thoughts. What do you think of my shirt? If you like it, you could pick one up yourself alongside a ton of other nerd culture apparel over at threaddiverseapparel.com. Link in the description. And you could save 30% by entering the coupon code fanatix30 at checkout. Disclaimer, this is not a sponsored video, just helping out a fan of this channel. Are you a fan of this channel? Then you should like the video and share it with a friend who also is excited for Pokemon Switch or just loves Pokemon in general. If you're not a fan of the channel yet, why not? You should subscribe and ring the bell for more videos like this every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. New podcast, you know, directly to you, the one I referenced a little bit ago, every Saturday, also at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, that's it for me. See you next week.